Welcome to the show, Showjumping Unplugged, right here, right now. It's on YouTube, and you're watching it first, and I'm with Grand Prix rider Ali Nelfarousian. And he's going to talk a little bit about the state of the sport and what's going on out there. Ali, welcome to the show, and welcome to YouTube.
Thank you for having me.
A pleasure, sir. Tell us what's up. What's the 411? What's happening in the Ali house?
Well, everything's going well. I think season's going pretty good, and all the riders are plugging away. It's World Cup season, and I think we're just getting ready for the winter circuits again.
Right on, right on. Now, I know there are some pressing issues that are kind of flying rampant around the horse shows these days in the sport, as far as the state of the sport and what's out there. What's on your mind?
You know what George Morris has done with taking the U.S. back to the top again. I think that's incredible. But I really see no originality from any of the managers. You know, we have a few good ones, but the direction that I think the sport is going, I think it bothers quite a lot of the high-end riders. And
they become somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for, homogenized or cookie-cutter-ish. And this is quite, forthright on Ali's part to come out and visit with us and tell us what's out there. I mean, we're all about change and pushing the edge of sport and bringing it mainstream, and this is how we get there.
I think a lot of the riders are very frustrated, but maybe they feel like they don't want to speak out, or and I just feel like it's it's time. It's time yeah. that we start treating ourselves as athletes. It's time that we start demanding more from our managers and demanding more from our organizers, and really start to make some changes that's going to be better for our sport, because at the rate it's going now, it's there's no incentives for the riders to push themselves, really, other than just another horse show, another average horse show that just comes every week, and I think it's time that we start pushing it to another level. I think we have to emphasize a lot on advertising. I think these horse shows slide into a city, do an event, and leave without anybody knowing about it. I think we need to get public awareness out. That's one. The other thing is we need to get people involved that are more on the entertainment value, because this is an event, a horse show that people can actually come for entertainment and watch a sport at the same time. So
what an idea.
Yeah, we don't need any more horse shows where you have 35 divisions. We need to have more focused, high-end.
You're talking about sports.
Sport, real
pure sports.
Where you have a limit of 3 horses that you can take, just like in Europe, and you're there to win, not to school, not to train. There's plenty of shows for that. But
sure,
when you show up there, you are there to compete.
Would this be like a pro riders tour kind of thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being creative here with you, and I'm just trying to get a feel for what the sport will be like in about 10 years, or maybe 5 years, or maybe next year, because you're quite visionary in your own right, and I mean, you do a lot of creative things and a lot of creative ventures. So one begins to think of, I think of PBR, I think of what a great model that is, and how would something like that apply to show jumping?
You're exactly right. PBR was started by the bull riders themselves that were basically fed up, and I think we're at that point. We've been cornered into the wall, and we're
into the chute.
Yeah, and we're ready to have change.
Now we're coming back into show jumping, which is ready to jump off. I mean, ready to go mainstream. And with Ali has an idea that he wants to share with us about his basically putting on these events, which would be very much akin to Pro Riders Tour, maybe, and maybe morphing into that in the future, provided everything works for you. And I got to tell you that the future is bright.
My concept for the events that I'm planning on having is corporate sponsorships. The riders would get, the food for their horses, the food for themselves, the stabling, the bedding, everything basically would be taken care of by the event, right, by the horse show.
Right.
We would have anywhere from a $50,000 to $100,000 welcome, $100,000 Grand Prix, and instead of a Grand Prix just to keep the crowd's interest, I would want to do a power and speed, so they get the whole package of our sport.
Right,
They would
you
get
get
the
the
power
entertainment, yeah.
They would get the power phase, which would be the 4'9", 5-foot division.
Yeah, sure.
Then the last fence would be a wall of puissance, and then right away to the speed factor. And I think you add all of that together, you invite 25 to 30 riders. It costs them nothing, and right away after that, I'll have a stage ready and have incredible music and have a mainstream band. The crowds come and you fill a stadium. So this, in a small nutshell, is the direction I'm taking this. But it's going to be incredible.
It sounds like a production, an entertainment production that combines sport and entertainment. Yeah. Into one venue and one stop, and perhaps this is where we blast off.
I feel like our management isn't creative enough to figure out how to bring in corporate money, how to bring in outside spectator money. They don't know how to bring that in, so they just decide to take from us because they know we have no choice.
Right.
And it's to a point now where we must make a change. We must demand more from our managers and demand more from the events. I think the days of inadequate footing and horrendous stabling and horse show office people that aren't polite to our clients, I think all of those things must stop. I think it's on to us now to make change in the sport. And I'm tired of riders complaining and doing nothing about it. Everybody's ready. Everybody's ready for change, and it's really, I'm going to sit back and wait another 6 months to see all of the changes that have been promised to us. I've heard these promises before. I don't hold my breath, but I'm hopeful that they're smart enough to know that all of us riders are sick and tired of it, and
you're watching.
And we're watching, and it's time for them to make changes. It's funny, every rider I talk to at the horse show can't get behind me fast enough. They all want to be involved. They all want to have something to do with this tour.
Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, and it's time. And
if you're out there watching and you're wondering, hey, I need to talk to Ali. Where can they do this? Can they email you? Perhaps I'll flash your email on the bottom of the screen, right, and then you can kind of get that viewer input. And we hope you'll comment and get your views and opinions back to Ali, because really the time for change is now, and we're out to make show jumping mainstream, because no longer are we satisfied to be the bridesmaid at the sporting contest on Sunday afternoon, right behind NASCAR and golf. There's something for everybody, but why not take pure sport and just make it better and kick it up a notch? Ali Faroujian right here, right now, and we'll catch you next time out on YouTube. I'm Paul Peterson for Showjumping Unplugged TV.